Yeah. Ghost, we make him fly like a ghost. If he want talking the game, the heater gon' turn into toast. If he pull out and we spliffed him, he was just doing a distance. Promise we ain't gon' miss him. His soul gon' fly when we lift him. Bye, good riddance. Why is this hard her feelings? To the top on a mission. I got a shot, take it with precision. You ain't up if you ain't down to get it. Fuck your bob if you ain't vibing with us. No, no, no. Bye, bye, bye. Clock him out. He ain't gon' talk when the Glock is off. You ain't gon' talk when the Glock is off. Headshot, knock him out. Ah, get him. Bye, good riddance. Sorry I had to do this. Sorry I'm being a nuisance. I just gotta get it. Hi, I'm Mary Jeans on my Louis V for the belt. 2 G's for the belt. Know the heater gon' make him out. Promise the heater gon' make him out. OD niggas know me. I just move along with the hand I throw. Yeah.
Hi everybody, this is Selfie Queen Cindy. I hope that you are all having a great day, evening, afternoon, whatever time you watch this. I did a live stream yesterday where I spoke about why I care about Jessica Kent, the whole situation, and basically why I care in general when we talk about addiction, recovery, when we have these conversations. And since it was a live stream, I was paying attention to my chat. So I thought I'd just summarize as best I could. Now, for those who may not know, my new subscribers, hello, welcome. I do not edit, okay? I don't. So what you see is what you get. But I wanted to summarize basically my points that I wanted to get across yesterday. And when you're live streaming, it's difficult because you want to interact with your chat. And sometimes your chatters may say something or bring up something that may not be geared towards your topic. And you never want to, not speak or encourage your chat, your supporters. So I thought I'd just quickly, because it is getting dark and I'm not using a ring light, so I don't want it to get dark on me, just quickly summarize why I care and why so many people care about the situation with Jessica Kent. I've done multiple videos and live streams about Jessica Kent, as have other creators. And I still haven't linked the creators, but while I'm sitting here on my laptop, when I'm done, I will link them in my previous live and also here. There were creators that I mentioned yesterday. Of course, Nicole, who is Accountability, with Nicole, and then there's Wildflower Tea, there's Josh C. Oh my God, I can't. Opinions and Discussions, and then there's Radiant Brit. There's also Tracy Noel and Canamind. So these are great channels that are having these discussions and bringing us what's continuing to go on with Jessica Kent. And I think that those channels will do justice to the coverage. I did say that I wanted to kind of end my coverage on Jessica Kent for the most part, because it is coming from a biased place now, as someone who was a very, very starch supporter of Jessica Kent for a long time. And then all of this happened with Mindy, and I started to open my eyes and see what was really going on. And I don't hate Jessica Kent by any means. I wish her well. And honestly, you know how people say that, I wish her well, and they really don't. I wish her well, and I want her to succeed. And I know that people are like, she is succeeding on YouTube, yes. But I think that some people rather have YouTube success and allow their personal lives to suffer. And I feel the opposite. I have learned to keep it in perspective. I love my YouTube. I love my YouTube channel. I love my supporters, my members, people that come and view me and give me the time of day. I love that. And I know that it's a privilege. but I also remember that my personal life, my family, my friends, my loved ones are my priority. And I have to keep it that way. They keep me grounded. They remind me of how important every day is. So I know that, in that aspect, if you look at it from social media, she's making money on social media. She has a ginormous audience. She is successful on YouTube, but I think it's important to be able to have that balance it out with your life. Um, and so I wanted to just quickly talk about why I care. Okay. Again, when I reiterate these things, it's for new subscribers. It's for people that may not have caught previous live streams. My live streams tend to be 2 hours long. I don't expect people to watch the whole things. I appreciate people that do, but I don't expect that. So if I reiterate or repeat things, it's for people who may not have heard it. And those who have heard it, I'm sorry that you have to hear it for the umpteenth time, but I hope you understand. Um, my mom was an addict, and as a kid, even before my mom started using drugs, she always had people hanging around. My mom used to have record parties, LPs, those big records, and people would come and listen to music. And since I can remember, she would have people over and they'd, drink. I think she only smoked ganja back then. And in that environment and having those types of people around, she was introduced to drugs. Even though ganja is a drug, I understand that. But she was introduced to more things. She was introduced to cocaine and so on and so forth. And as a kid, we were subjected to random people always in our home. I have also shared, I have extreme trauma from childhood. I've never shared my trauma here. I don't think I will ever share what I went through as a child. I just don't think YouTube is the platform for me to share that. I know there are channels that cover that, people that have shared that. There are true crime channels that discuss things like that. um, I just don't feel comfortable with doing that because, as I said, I have one son that watches my channel religiously. My other sons may catch it. One of my son's girlfriend watches my channel. And these are things I don't want my sons to know about. My sons have never heard these stories. My parents, of course, know. My children don't know. They don't need to know. And other people may feel differently. These are my children. And this is how I handle it. I just don't feel that telling my children the trauma I went through will be beneficial to them. I think it may just traumatize them and cause them harm. And I just don't think there's any point to that. It's not as if it can teach them a lesson or anything. If I felt it was that kind of scenario, then I would have spoken to them about it. But I have talked to my sons about the dangers of strangers and all of that stuff without getting into detail about my trauma. I'm not at a place where I can talk about it at all, and especially not publicly. I don't even think I would do it in the members only because I don't want to traumatize my members, my subscribers. I've been through severe trauma in every sense of the word of trauma that you can think of. Me and my brothers have experienced that. So, and that was because there were strangers around us at all times. My mom was under the influence. She was in and out all the time. And I'm not saying that Jessica Kent's children are experiencing this. That's not what I'm saying. I'm trying to make people understand why I care, right? Why I'm worried. And I'm no one. I understand that. But again, Jessica Kent puts this on the internet and we consume it as her viewers, and we have opinions, we have concerns, we have worries. And that is a legitimate worry of mine as someone who was a child that couldn't defend myself and went through really, really terrible situations because the adults around me were under the influence, were predators, were all these things. Okay. So that is one big reason why I care. Um, Having all these people that are using, and don't misunderstand me, I'm not saying that people that are addicts are just, predators and all this stuff. but you open yourself up for this possibility. And when it comes to your children, that possibility should be zero, right? No, that's not a thing. Leaving your children with questionable people, surrounding them with questionable people, especially if you say that you aren't in active addiction, which she keeps saying. She hasn't relapsed, she's not using. So then you should be of sound mind. And again, I'm not talking about mental illness or any of those things, because I have to always have these disclaimers, because people tend to want to nitpick things that I'm saying. I'm not bashing her or shaming her if she has mental illness. What I'm talking about is you have the wherewithal to know, okay, these are my children. I have to put their needs, their safety first, especially if you're saying you're not in active addiction and that's our concern. Then why do you have people in active addiction chilling with you, chilling in your house? It's not as if you're running a halfway house or a recovery house or a rehab where you're working with them professionally and your children come to work. This is your home, this is your sanctuary, this is your safe space, and these people are in your home that are using. And I don't understand how, if you aren't using, what's the appeal? Because I know that people that are using, there's no conversation for us to have. And again, I'm not sticking up my nose at people that are in active addiction. That's not what I'm saying. But socially, to go hang out with them or go to a house where I know people are using, why would I go there? What conversations are we having? If I'm going there in reality, I'm going there to get something, or because I'm already mentally relapsed and I'm hoping that I'll go there in anticipation that somebody will offer me something. I'm going to keep it real. There's no other reason in my mind that I would go and be around and hang out and party with people in active addiction. So that is one of my main concerns, why we care. Again, these are things that are on the internet, right? She has this gentleman named Chris that she has said herself is one of her best friends. He's been there through all of it, he's seen it all. And then he uploads a video where he says himself that has been convicted of CA of his own children, right? And DV of his partner, I guess his children's mom. All these things. I'm a bad person. He said these things himself out of his own mouth. And then you have him making content specifically with your daughters. They're doing his makeup, they're doing his nails. Even as a mom, right? Even putting it on the internet, it looks bad. It looks bad. And I know that when I was in my active addiction, my views were askew, right? What I thought was normal was actually the opposite. When I thought I looked good and healthy, I didn't. When I thought people couldn't tell that I had just stayed up for 3 days and all of this stuff, I thought I was concealing it well. I wasn't. So that is why people wonder, like, she doesn't, either she doesn't see it or she doesn't care, right? Either you don't see it because something is lacking there, and that leads to speculation of what that thing that is lacking there is. Especially as someone who was an addict, and again, I'm not trying to shame addicts, but I'm trying to say these are the reasons why we have questions. Okay, people have questioned me when I was living with my husband, and 2 years ago I was doing very bad financially. People were like, why? They had all these questions, and then of course they wondered, is Cindy using? Has Cindy relapsed? These are normal questions that people are going to have. And so we question these things, and the antagonizing of people and making the situation worse and throwing people under the bus, like your children's father, that regardless of how you feel right now, he is forever connected to you and forever a part of your children's lives. And so what you do, what you say about him on the internet will affect them. It will affect them whether you like it or not, whether Jessica Kent wants to admit it or not. It will always affect her children. And I'm sorry if I keep my words. I have something going on with my mouth, so it's like it's weird with my tooth. So sometimes I sound like I have a lisp. So I apologize about that if it's bothering you, because it's bothering me. Um, so it will forever affect her daughters. And the internet is so vast that people from her children's school can see it, the parents of her peers, of their peers, the staff at the school, and then rumors or speculation starts circulating, and kids hear things. Let's say the parents are talking about, Jessica Ken and all of this. Their children hear, our children hear more than we think. And then now your daughters, or I'm talking to Jessica Kent, sorry, her daughters are being made fun of or being judged or bullied because all of this stuff has been out on the internet. These things that they didn't choose to put out on the internet, these things that Reese didn't choose to put out on the internet. And again, I understand that parts of his story are her story because they had a life together. Things affected her, right? That's why I never talk about her DV situation. I don't think that that's content, um, meaning that I don't think I should be making content out of that. And I would never talk about somebody's DV in a way like questioning it. That's just not a thing. So I don't touch on that. But everything else, it affects them as a whole. And the way she's gone about telling his story as someone who was an advocate, right? Or someone who fights for addicts and fights for prison reform, didn't come across as somebody who's an advocate and someone who has been there and should be able to know what he's going through. And I understand that she's angry, she's been through stuff, a lot of stuff with him, and I get that. And I think that's why she should have waited till the situation had passed and all of this. And these are just my opinions. Again, she can do whatever she wants, but then this is why people have opinions and concerns again. So that was, I had concerns because of that. And I also had concerns because impressionable people that watch her and watch her content and believe her blindly will think that they can follow in her shoes and emulate what she's doing, that they can hang around people that are potentially committing crimes, allegedly, in my opinion, and using substances, allegedly, in my opinion, because I don't want to get no cease and desist, and damn no, because anyway, I ain't got nothing to take. You can't squeeze water out of a rock, so sue me all you want. But you're gonna get my fucking lash extensions. Anyways, okay, sorry. Um, but there are impressionable people that watch her content that are fighting for their lives, that want inspiration and want to know how to navigate recovery. And they'll think, okay, so it's not that bad. I can hang around, go see my old friends, and that may be it for them. They may go use again and they may lose their lives. Addiction is not a game. One time you lose your life. Addiction is a matter of life and death. So what she's doing by putting this out for her millions of subscribers, followers over multiple platforms is dangerous and harmful, in my opinion, because there are so many people that look up to her, as I once did, and will emulate what she is doing, will take what she does and says as a manual, and they may lose their lives. It's irresponsible. It's irresponsible. And not only that, again, on the other side of that coin is her further stigmatizing addicts, addiction, recovery, all of that, because you're not being honest, and it's obvious to us, to many of us, okay, that you're not being honest. And so people that may not know, may be ignorant to what addiction is and already have a kind of jaded view of addicts will see this and think that all of us possibly that talk about our journeys, our recovery, and all of these things are also being dishonest. And that again is harmful because there are many of us who come here and talk about our addiction, and so many people come into my chat my comment sections, email me, my DMs with their stories of survival, these heartbreaking stories, these courageous stories. And I'm honored that they share them with me privately. I'm honored that they share them in my chat. And I'm so afraid that people will stop sharing. They will stop sharing because people will keep on with the addict shaming and the mocking of addicts and weaponizing of somebody's addiction. And when people as big as Jessica Kent have such a platform that they could do so much good, because part of addiction and recovery is relapse, is making mistakes, but it's admitting it and saying, yes, I effed up. I effed up. I don't think she will be canceled for having relapse. I think that people will welcome her with open arms and understand and support her. That is a part of recovery. Relapse happens, and it's her inability to be honest with her audience that have built her to this place where she is. It reeks of entitlement to me, and the way she's commenting and responding to people with laughing emojis, people that have respectful comments, that have genuine concerns for her children, that she's giving laughing emojis and all these just passive aggressive, remarks. I it's disrespectful, and you're spitting in the face of people that supported you like I did for a long time. I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater. I didn't just choose one day, like, you know what? I'm going to start talking crap about Jessica Kent. I loved Jessica Kent. I talked so highly about her on my channel all the time. And it was so hard for me to realize, to come to terms with, damn, something is not right here. I ignored my gut, and I kept ignoring my gut. And that's why when I made my initial video, it was so far after everything had come out, because I wanted to wait. I didn't want to jump to conclusions or jump to make a video to get the views. I was torn and I was saddened that she couldn't be honest and say, hey, I messed up. And I don't think that if you relapse and you're a content creator, you have to come and share everything, but you also don't come and lie. You also don't come and lie and, yeah, I'm in recovery, and you all this questionable shit around you, happening around you, and you lie. You don't have to share every part of you. Being a YouTuber, being a public figure does not mean that every part of your life has to be shown and open for everybody to dissect. That is also not a thing. But when you come and you lie and you change stories and you point the finger at everybody else is to blame for your poor decisions, for your poor life decisions, for things that you have contributed to and added to, but you take no accountability for that. That is also not okay. And that is my issue. And that is why I care for all the people that have come and have shared with me and that have shared with other creators. So many creators doing so much good work towards helping people in fighting the good fight with their addiction. My girl Gemini started the Narcon movement, and she's done so many things, and it translated into her personal life. She went to a city council meeting. She got firehouses to put boxes with Narcon in it. She got a friend of hers to put it in front of her store. She's doing the damn thing. She went to homeless camps and gave out so many Narcon kits. It is a matter of life and death. People are still losing their battle with addiction. A friend, Mayor, just lost her son's friend. Sorry, my dog's here. He lost his battle with addiction and was Narcon, but it was too late. This is a real thing. This isn't a little petty thing. This isn't me talking about mascara, right? Lying about, advertisements. This isn't little tonterias back and forth on YouTube. You don't like my opinion. You don't like the way I talk. This is about life and death. This is about life and death. And when you have a platform, 1 subscriber, 5 subscribers, 1 million subscribers, you have a moral obligation, especially when you're tackling conversations and topics such as recovery, addiction, HIV, all these things that affect people's lives and matter in life and death. That is why I care. That is why so many of us care. That is why we care. And I've decided to move away from it for the most part. I mean, in specifics, like I won't come here and be like, oh, look, what Jessica Kent, she reacted to this. I won't do that. There's other creators that are great at it and that are keeping us updated, and I will watch them as well. I will continue to talk about addiction and recovery and all these important conversations. I will continue to have them on my channel. And from time to time, I may discuss Jessica Kent, you know, but I really wanted her fans, her subscribers, her ride or dies to understand why we care. Because I see that question asked over and over. Why do they care? Why are they so invested? What? I was once you. I was once you. I was once a huge fan. And I'm also a woman in recovery. 22 years fighting the good fight. And I'm also someone who has lost people that I love to addiction and to other things that happened because of addiction. So I will always speak up for about that and for them, because they are no longer here to speak up for themselves. And if one person can be saved and gets off the streets and gets out of their addiction and gets into recovery, I am so happy. And it's because everybody, I'm telling you, they come into my chat and they are so courageous to share their stories. I could never sit here and lie and, yeah, I'm in recovery. And I get off of here and I go and cop. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. My life is worth so much more to me. My recovery is so important. My sons are the most important thing to me in this whole world. They are all that matters to me. And I could never do that to them. I would lose myself. I know who I was in my active addiction, and I had tunnel vision. I couldn't care about anything or anyone else. It was about that, and I never want to go back to that. Never, never. So that is why I care. I will always care. I will continue to care. And I will care for everybody else that can be influenced to think that that is what recovery looks like. It's okay to put yourself in dangerous situations. It's okay to drink alcohol and take prescription medication. Hell no, it isn't. Hell no, it isn't. It's extremely dangerous. That is why I care. That is why I will always care. So I'm gonna end on that, and I hope people understand. It's about life and death, and I will always care. And I will always care, and I will always state my opinion. That is it, and that is all. Okay. I hope you guys have a great evening. As like I said, whenever you're watching this, whatever time of day it is, I hope you're having a great day. For me, it is Saturday. I will be here tomorrow to do a live. I'm going to upload this right now. I will be live tomorrow. I hope to see you all there. Y como siempre, te quiero, te adoro, all that good stuff. Si Dios quiere, nos vemos mañana. God willing, I will see you all tomorrow, Sunday, el domingo. Y con mucho cariño, I love you guys. Have a great day. Bye, guys.